Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Trial by Fire. So it's about a guy named Cameron Todd Willingham. And evidently, it sounds like it's a true story. He was tried and executed for killing his 3 children. However, there was evidence that was suppressed that would have made him innocent. So that's all I know about it. I just kind of stumbled upon it. 6.6 on IMDb. Laura Dern is the only name I recognize right here. So, I don't know, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Sounds kind of interesting, so I'm going to get into it, check it out, give you a better idea of really what it's about, and then ultimately what I think about it. So, stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Trial by Fire. We're at the 1 hour, 17 minute, and 35 second mark. So, a little over halfway. I was going to stop it earlier, but I was like, let's get it to halfway, and I got caught up in watching it, because it is very interesting. You know, really interested in it. It's, basically, give you the background. Our main character, who's played by Jack O'Connell, Jack O'Connell is from Unbroken. If you've seen that movie, that's a great movie. Well, in this one, he's our main character. His Todd is his name, and right in the beginning, they show his house on fire, him crawling outside, and the 3 kids still being inside. And so he has, and this is right in the synopsis, he was tried and convicted of murdering the 3 of them. And he was married, his wife was there, but she was at work at the time. So they kind of show a little bit of the trial, and you get the gist of it. Like the public defender really didn't do much for him. You know, we don't know why initially, and ultimately he gets not life sentence. He gets sentenced to death, and by lethal injection in Texas. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is all in Texas. So that's really what everything is. And now he claimed, of course, that he's innocent. His wife claimed that as well during the trial. But other than that, there wasn't much else to go on. And the first major portion of this is developing him while he's in prison, showing him what his character is and things like that. And it's slow moving, but still very interesting. And now it's come to the point where Laura Dern has entered the picture. Very serendipitous, the way that she becomes connected with him. I didn't pick up on it at first. I was like, I don't understand it, but essentially, you'll watch it and see that piece of it anyway. How she kind of gets involved in this, and they start communicating back and forth through letters, and then she goes to visit him. It's not like a love interest. It's just, I don't know. At least I don't think it's a love interest, even though they're male and female. But they just start to talk to each other, and so she starts looking into his case. And this is when, right now, she's realizing that there were some errors made during the trial that the public defender didn't act on that might have helped him. So she went to meet with an attorney that he had contacted previously to try and get an appeal in, but the appeal was denied. And the main thing is because the way the fire happened. I think that's where all the evidence is, and not so much in the character witnesses and stuff like that. So that's where we are. It seems like now she's going to try and dig into it a little bit deeper to see what she can find out. And I think we're going to understand more about what really happened, or at least a theory or something like that, and see where it goes from here. Him and his family were, poor. Family. And for example, the wife, the reason she wasn't home was she was at work. She was stopping at the Salvation Army to get Christmas presents for the kids. So so that they're playing that as well as a portion of the reason why maybe he went to prison and stuff like that. And you'll see what I mean. And he has a previous record, so he was in trouble previously, fighting, stuff like that. Kind of abusive with his wife. So no, like not a model citizen by any stretch of the imagination. So he kind of fit the bill for what they're looking for here. So, alright, that's where we are with the movie so far. I'm enjoying it. I like Jack O'Connell. I was like, I know this guy. He's he's a really good actor, and I was like, who is he? And then I looked it up. He's from Unbroken. The other person I recognize who has somewhat of a role is a prison guard in it, Chris Coy. Seen him in a couple of different things. He's on the TV show The Deuce, which is also has his Todd's wife is from The Deuce, Emily Meade, M-E-A-D-E. So she's also from that show as well. So, some people that you recognize that they go on, and of course Lauren Dern. So far very interesting, and I'm going to get back to it and see what else happens. So stick around, I'll be back.
Have sympathy for
Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Trial by Fire, and really enjoyed it. A nice little gem, I think, here. Oftentimes, I've never heard of this movie. I've never heard of this situation, or that this was based on. It's based on a true story, as I had mentioned. Real quick to touch on that, at the end of a movie about a true story, I always like to see the words. Tell me what happens after this movie. I like to see that. I also like to see pictures of, the real people who were in this, and maybe sometimes the actor next to them to see what their likenesses were. In this one, they had the words, no pictures at the end. They had a presidential debate. But, kind of proving that it was based on a true story. But, very interesting. It was very interesting throughout. I was locked in, as I had mentioned before. And it wasn't really dull at all. And then when you get to the the conclusion, it's unbelievable. Like you can't imagine the sequence of events in a sense. So I don't want to go into too much detail, and even that little piece that I gave you there, you're never going to be like, what, unless you know the story. So I like the acting. I think Jack O'Connell did a great job. I enjoyed his performance there. I thought, especially when if you've seen Unbroken, you've seen him in that. He's a totally different character in this one. So I love that. I love when they got the range to make this happen, and he plays this character in a way that there's times where you're like, I don't know about this guy, and it's like, you feel for him. I like this guy, whatever. And there's times like, maybe not, kind of thing. And it's not like the movie's trying to fool you or mess with your emotions. I believe this is really this character. This is how he was, how he's evolved, and then maybe a little bit of how he goes back to what he was, in a sense. So I liked it. I think I've covered everything without going into too much detail. Again, I don't know how much you know about the story. I've never heard about it before. The true life story. I've never heard of this movie. Just popped up, came out. It's like, yeah, Trial by Fire. Let's turn it on. 2 hours and 7 minutes. I think it might be a little bit long, but I can't think of anything they should have taken out. I'm starting to choke on cinnamon. Pardon me. All right, that's it. That's all I got for you. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear from you. If I intrigued you, let me know. Because if you like movies about, about trials and maybe determining the innocence of some people, or if you like Jack O'Connell, you'll love this movie because I think he did great. So that's about it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'll also put a link in the description below so that you can go ahead and hopefully I intrigued you enough to click on it there and start watching it yourself. Alright, thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.